Yeah, that's right, Arabella. I mean, look, iPhone 14, there's not a huge amount that's different about the base models. Apple revealing 4 new models, iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 Pro and the Pro Max as well. With the base models, not much has changed. Slight different with the higher end models, the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max containing the latest chips, always on display, and a slight redesign of that notch at the top of the iPhone as well. The question always is, will people upgrade? Now, if you're on an iPhone 12 or 13, there's probably not much in here that will make you really jump out and go and buy the phone. However, if you're on an iPhone 11 or even older, of which there are millions of people out there, this could potentially be something that entices you. Now, it's not just about the iPhone, it's also, of course, about the accessories, which has become a multi-billion-dollar business for Apple as well. And they revealed 3 new models of watches, the Apple Watch Series 8, the Apple Watch SE, and the high-end Apple Watch Ultra. And what's interesting about that is they're deploying a strategy they've used on the iPhone. Several different price points and several different models with different specs, starting from around $249 up to a starting price of $799. So when you look at that, you're seeing Apple is trying to target the lower end of the market, the consumer who just wants to dabble in smartwatches, up to those who really want to use it for sports and other activities as well. Now on to pricing and demand, because this, of course, was really all about very closely watched for the launch as well. No price change for the iPhones in the US, but Apple did hike the price in a number of international markets here, including the UK, Australia, Japan, and India as well. Interestingly, the company did not raise the price of the iPhones in China. Now, we know China, you were talking about it there, going through lockdowns. The economy is really facing a number of challenges. So here, this is probably a play by Apple to really maintain momentum in what has become one of its most important markets as well. Doesn't want to raise the price because consumer sentiment right now is fragile. And so they've likely kept it the same in China just to continue to entice customers into the iPhone product. So really here, it's an interesting one on pricing, because it's going to be a real test here of consumer appetite globally, but also, of course, the strength of the Apple brand, guys.
The pricing, or I guess the lack of a price increase, was one that caused major ripples. I think people were a little bit surprised, especially in this inflationary environment, not to see price rises for the iPhone. But I saw something really interesting yesterday that I want to put to you, Arjun. Taran Pathak, who is an analyst at Counterpoint Research, he tweeted out yesterday that Apple is likely to exit this year with its highest ever ASP and highest market share in a decade. So with everything that's been going on, Apple has actually been managing to increase its market share. What do you point that down to?
Yeah, a few things at play here, Jemana. Firstly, when you look at where the growth in the smartphone market is right now, it's in those $1,000 plus devices, and Apple has a huge share in that segment of the market, around more than 70% there. So that's what you can put down in terms of the ASP. People are still willing to pay for higher priced devices. And you see with the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, Apple bring in latest chip technology, latest display technology, the latest camera technology to entice people to upgrade. But the other part in terms of market share is the downfall of Huawei globally has really opened the gates for Apple, particularly in China. Now, Apple continues to gain share in China because really there's no competition in that high-end premium feel, premium brand device anymore, because Huawei now cannot access chips and so forth because of US sanctions, and that's left that gap there which Apple's filling. Because of the size of the market, if Apple continues to increase its share in China, it therefore increases its share globally of the smartphone market, and that's been one of the biggest factors, along with, of course, the appeal of some of the new devices, and particularly the higher price ones.